Hey everyone, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Before we get started, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. So, as far as the news goes, the government shutdown is over. They have postponed it for 45 days and then they'll come up with something else. So I didn't really see anything interesting in the news. Just briefly, Kaiser, they're planning on going on strike next week. All the nurses, people like that, they're going on strike. Target is shutting down in several cities because people are shoplifting. I see things like that, right? So I said, let's talk about something else today, but I'm gonna keep it short. So, men, single men, drop your age. I want to see your age. Drop your age. And while you're doing that, I'm going to talk about this book that I'm reading. I like to read, and it is called Design Your Future. And in this book, you know how people say, okay, it's the same sentence, and you hear it coming from different people. I was taught, okay, this is how it sounds, like monotone voice. I was taught to go to school, get a job. You know how it goes, right? I was taught to go to school, get a job. And then, people wake up and realize that entrepreneurship is the way to go. Of course, it's not for everybody, but I was taught to go to school, get good grades, get a job. And then one day they wake up and decide what it is that they want to do with their lives. So I'm reading this book called Design Your Future. So in that same monotone sentence that you hear, this is what this guy says. I was taught to go to school, get good grades, get a job, get married, have kids. And I'm like, what? How in the world are you putting that in the same sentence? Do you find that interesting? I do. So, what this guy is saying is instead of meeting the expectations of what society says do your own thing, what you want to do. But he wants to be alone by himself on an island. Like, leave me alone. I want to go on an island and be by himself. And I'm wondering, is that how you feel? Is that how you feel? Like, how is that even in the same sentence as go to school and get a job? So I thought that was interesting because that's one of the things here in this book. Leave me alone. And he wants to go live on an island somewhere. I'd like to know, how do you feel about that? Of course, I know everyone is not the same, right? Everyone is different. But how are you putting going to school, getting a job in the same sentence as getting married, having kids with the same monotone voice? So I just thought that was interesting. Um, I am not sure what race this guy is. I think he is Caucasian. Is this Caucasian? So I think the expectation for Caucasians is to get married. Um, But for Blacks, I think it's different. I don't think that Black men are expected to get married. Um, so, what do you think? What's your opinion? What's your opinion on that? I just thought it was interesting. So, besides that, he also talks about designing your future. If you are interested, this is the book. This is what it looks like. I have just started reading it, but some of the things I find interesting is he talks about our habits, and our habits are they come from our subconscious. So, um, no matter what it is you want to do in life, it's like your subconscious is bringing you back to these same habits. And he says that people do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. So I thought that was interesting, especially for people who you want to do this thing out of life, but when you come home, you're working on this thing every day. So I'll repeat that. People do not decide their futures. They decide their habits, and their habits decide their futures. I think that's deep. So some people know that they want to do this with their life. But what about people who want to do multiple things with their lives? What is your opinion on that? What do you think about that? So I know I'm on here talking to myself as usual, but I just thought it was interesting. I thought I would share this guy's perspective. He is not the first person I heard say this. I heard another guy. He was an Asian male, and he had that monotone tone. Um, go to work. Go to school, get good grades, get a job. He was taught that. Get married, have kids, as if it was something he was taught and forced to do. That's not bringing him satisfaction. And so he needs to go find out what it is that he really wants to do. So that was an Asian man I heard. So I've heard that from an Asian man, expectation is to get married. White man, expectation is to get married. Black man, I don't think that the expectation is to get married. What do you think? And why is that monotone? Why is that in the same sentence as going to school and getting a job? Do you really hate the thought of marriage that much? I know everyone is not the same, but I just think it's interesting. Why are men on this thinking process and women are on this thinking process, like two different pages? And I know everybody is not the same. So, of course, I'm up here talking to myself again because that's how it is. So, do me a favor before you leave, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button and notification bell next to it so that you will not miss an episode. Also, if you're interested, check out this book. If you are someone who um, maybe you think a lot. Have you ever been called an overthinker before? Maybe you think a lot and you are trying to design your future. That your future will be greater than where you are right now. All right. Before you leave, hit that like button. Thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your nights.